All right, so I would like to welcome everybody to our 2017 CDA class. We've got a nice number of people joining us today. So thank you for being here. It's going to be a fun class, an informative class. You got a lot of work ahead of you, but it's going to be good, fun work. We're going to go ahead and get started. Today, even though the CDA session is titled CDA Safe I, we are going to talk about functional area safe here towards the end. But today I really wanted to just kind of tell you how the next couple of months are going to go, what your responsibilities are, what my responsibilities are, and just kind of get us going on the right track. All right. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about some of the misconceptions right off the bat because I want y'all to ask questions if you have questions. Sometimes if you don't feel like asking a question in a public forum, so on the webinar or on the chat screen on your control panel, you can always call me, you can always email me. I am here for you. So I am not successful unless you're successful. And so we're in this together, all right? So don't ever hesitate to contact me if you've got a question about anything. I've been teaching CDA for about 8 years now, and I can proudly tell you that out of the 8 years that I've been teaching CDA, I've only had one person deferred by the council and got their CDA rejected. So I'm pretty proud of that record. So no pressure to y'all, but I want to continue that trend going, and I want all of y'all to be successful and earn your CDA. I do believe that I put together a course that will set you up for success. And as long as you do everything that I ask you to do and you pay attention to the webinars and you complete your worksheets, you're going to be just fine. Now, when I talked about misconceptions that a lot of people have when it comes to CDA, a lot of people think, well, I can just register for this class, attend all of the sessions, and I'm going to get my CDA. And that is not true, all right? You've got some work to do. All right, you've got quite a bit of work to do between worksheets that you will need to complete and submit to me. You will have a quiz over each functional area. Of course, you will need to build your professional resource file. You'll need to write your competency statements. You'll need to do a test. You'll need to have an observation. And don't worry, we're going to cover all of that stuff. All right. But you can't just sit back and breeze through this, okay? Day one of the CDA webinar series, I'm going to tell you all right now, do not get behind on your worksheets and quizzes. And I'm going to put some criteria in place to prevent that from happening, but I do see a lot of people that do not complete the CDA process, and it's simply because they just fall behind and there's no way for them to catch up. Okay? Now, there is a method to my madness. There is a reason why we do what we do, and it's to make you successful. So you got to trust me and believe in what we've got going on here. Now, the other thing that I absolutely love about CDA, and this is probably the most exciting thing for me, I love getting to know y'all on day one. I love to start seeing your worksheets, flowing in week one. And the thing about CDA is it's not about the outcome. It's not about earning that credential, putting it in a frame, and sticking it up on the wall. CDA is about the process. It is about learning. It is about developing. It's about you becoming a better early educator. And, even if you're one of the best early educators out there, you rock in the classroom, and I know several of you rock in the classroom, you can still be better. And that's what we're going to focus on over the next, 15 functional areas, 30 webinars, it's the process, okay? So it's kind of like, I like to explain it this way. You're not the only one taking the CDA class. It's you and all of the children that you have in your classroom right now. All right? All of your kids are going to be knee deep into this just like you are. So it's such an exciting thing to see the process and to see everybody grow from now until we get to the end. And so I hope y'all are excited about that. Okay. Um, but like it's again, the point that I'm really wanting to make is you're gonna have to work. All right. Now it's not a whole lot of work. I don't want y'all to be stressing out that it's a whole lot of work. It's not a whole lot of work. It's gonna take a little bit of your time each week, but you'll get through it. All right. That's the great thing about this webinar series too, is that you don't have that classroom pressure. All right. There's pros and cons to doing it on the webinar. You don't have the classroom pressure. We miss out on some of the hands-on learning opportunities, but I have found some ways to incorporate that electronically, and so we'll still get a little bit of it. All right. All right. Everyone good? Okay. Like I said, if you have a question, go ahead and type it in. Even if it's something we haven't talked about yet, go ahead and type your question in. I want to go over the material that you have received in the mail from me. Okay, now hopefully everybody has received their packet from me. If you have not received your packet, you should be getting it any day now. We did have 2 people register Friday afternoon, so you may not have your packet yet. It might come today or tomorrow. We did just get a registration about 10 minutes before class started today, so obviously you don't have your packet yet, and that's all right. I would just say those of you that registered, some time ago, if you don't have your packet yet, give me a call or shoot me an email. We need to track that and see where it's at. Like I told one of you on the phone yesterday, the CDA textbook and competency standards is about $100 worth of material. So those packets are very valuable. Don't lose them, okay? Let's go ahead and go over what you have in your packet and how you're going to use it during the CDA process. Now, the first thing that you've got is your Essentials textbook. And this is published from the CDA Council. There's a lot of different textbooks that are out there that you can use when taking a CDA class. I prefer Essentials, number one, because it is written by the council, so it's coming straight from the horse's mouth. There's no interpretation here. But I also think it rocks. I mean, it's a pretty awesome book. And as you start going through this, it's very easy to read. It's very easy to understand. But there are some incredible, incredible resources. A lot of my past students that have taken this class with me continue to tell me that even though they're done with the CDA process and they've earned their credential, they still use this book almost on a weekly basis as a resource in their classroom. So it's an awesome, awesome book. Now, again, everyone will get this in your packet if you haven't already received it. If you do lose it, you have to buy another one on your own, okay? And like I said, I think they are running, just this book I think is like $55 or something like that. So you want to make sure that you hang on to it. What I did send you, it is yours, so you can highlight, you can sticky note, you can dog ear, you can do whatever you need to do to your book so that you will be successful, all right? But bring this book right here to every webinar that you attend. We're going to use it quite a bit during the process. Probably about half of our webinars are going to be based on material in this book, and then the other half of our webinars are going to be based on supporting material in each of the different functional areas. So, but I'll probably reference back to this in every single webinar. Okay, so that's your Essentials textbook, your best friend. You're going to grow to love it, I promise you. If you don't love this book, there's something wrong with you. All right, no, just kidding. The next thing, that you've got is you've got one of these two books. All right. Now you're not going to have both of these. You're only going to have one of them. You'll notice that the yellow book is for infant toddler teachers. The green book is for preschool teachers. And these are your competency standards. I'm going to be really honest with y'all. You don't use these very often, okay? I have even thought about not even sending these out to y'all. But there is some good stuff in here, some good resource material, mainly when we get to the application process and when we get to the professional resource files, you will use these two books. So that's why I continue to send these out. Otherwise, on our week-to-week assignments, yeah, you're not going to use them that much. What's the difference between the infant toddler and the preschool? Not a whole lot of difference. Obviously, they're different colors. They've got different titles. But I bet if you lay these two books side by side and started going through them, you're going to notice that they're pretty much identical until you get to the back. All right? And again, once you get to the observation instrument, you'll see that the infant toddler observation instrument is a little bit different than the preschool. There's a few variations throughout the booklet, but not a whole lot, okay? But that's what you've got right here. Like I said, there is some good stuff in it, but we don't use these two books as much as we use essentials, okay? All right, so that's what your competency standard is. Now, then you got the granddaddy, all right? And this is the workbook that I put together, and it is based on CDA material, but I changed just a few things up and made a couple of adaptations to accommodate our class and how we're teaching the class. But this is going to be your workbook, all right? Now, again, this is your book. You can do whatever you want to with it. You can highlight it. You can sticky note, whatever, okay? But this is going to be really important because each week, as we go through the different functional areas, you're going to have worksheets that will go along with each functional area. And they usually average between 20 to 35 questions per functional area, just depending on how long the chapter is. And then there's a quiz that you will take after each functional area. The quiz is usually anywhere from 6 to 10 questions. They're not difficult, okay, guys? Don't stress out about it. All right, but here is the thing about the workbook, all right? And it's important that everyone pay attention at this part. So, you know, hocus pocus, time to focus, everybody. All right, all of the questions are in this workbook. So you can see here, starting with functional area safe. You got question 1, and then it'll go on. Functional area safe has 22 questions. And there's a place for you to answer these questions in your workbook. All right. Now, this right here is a working document. All right. You get to play around with this. You get to make amendments. You get to make changes. But this is kind of a working document. All right. Now, here's the deal: is each week you are going to have to submit your answers to me via the computer. So you're kind of sort of going to be doing these worksheets twice, all right? But there again, there's a method to the madness, and the reason why I do what I do. It's so that you will retain the material, okay? Now, let me go ahead and walk you through this right here, because this is going to be important for you. I'm going to open up my screen, all right? So everyone should be able to see my computer screen now. Does everyone see my computer screen? All right. Does everyone see my computer screen now? All right. Awesome, awesome. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to the website. And you're going to go to my website, timthetrainer.com. Everyone should have gone to this website whenever you registered for class. When you come to my website and you scroll down, you're going to see right here where it says CDA class. you're going to click on CDA class, and then you'll see this big yellow box right here where it says currently registered students. Click here for your CDR webinar material. Go ahead and click on that. Now, if you want to go ahead and add this page to your favorites, that's probably a good idea right there. But you'll see right here, these are all of your worksheets for each of the functional areas. This is also where if you miss a webinar and you're not able to attend our 1 o'clock webinar, or like next week, we will not have live webinars next week. This is where you're going to find the pre-recorded webinars for you to go back to, and they're going to be posted under each functional area. Okay, so what you're going to do is, like for functional area 1 safe, you're going to go ahead and complete the worksheet, your rough draft version, and your workbook. Once you get done answering those 22 questions, then you're going to come to the website here and you're going to complete. Now, there's only 10 questions on a worksheet, so you'll notice this is broken up into 3 different worksheets. Go ahead and, like right here, click here to complete your SAFE worksheet 1. You'll click on that. It'll take you to a WooFoo worksheet where, you'll go ahead and I'll just kind of do me. Look at that. I misspelled my own name. How funny is that? Real quickly, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be honest with y'all, too. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to your address and phone number and all that kind of stuff. So if you need to make a change to what I have on file, make sure that you specifically let me know that. Otherwise, if you just do it right here, I'm not going to notice, okay? So, all right, come in here. Whenever you come to this part, you'll see here, it's exactly what you have in your workbook. So after completing functional area SAFE 1 in your CDA workbook, record your answers for questions 1 through 10 on the online worksheet and submit for review. You're basically going to go in here, and these are the exact same questions that you have in your workbook. You're going to record your answers, and then you're going to submit them to me. Okay? Now, this is the important part. All right? This is where, once I receive your worksheets, I will review your answers, and then I will respond and give you feedback. All right? And so this is where the big important stuff comes in. Like I said, there's 2 to 3 worksheets for each functional area. Shouldn't take you a whole lot of time to get these submitted to me. All right. You're also going to notice, going back to the website, you've got a quiz. So you can see here, click here to complete your SAFE quiz. This is where, after you submit your worksheets, then you take your quiz. And then I will respond with your grade and how well you did or any feedback that I need to give you. All right, so let me tell you why all of this is so incredibly important. Number 1, these questions that are in here are going to challenge you. It's going to make you do a lot of reflecting, all right? You're going to go back to your classroom, you're going to reflect, you're going to observe, you're going to evaluate. This book is almost like a therapist, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of questions that make you look at yourself personally. There's one particular part that makes you look at your family, your surroundings. It really kind of opens up into your soul. As you are going through and completing all of these worksheets, this is preparing you for your competency statements, all right? This is preparing you for your professional resource file, all right? This is preparing you for your CDA observation and test that you will take at the very end when you get ready to submit your application to the council. So when I talk about after we complete our 120 hours of training and you get ready to submit your application to the council, you should not have any problem earning your CDA, passing your test, passing your observation, as long as you do everything in this workbook and as long as you listen to my feedback constructively and with an open heart and an open mind, you're going to be just fine. Now, one of the biggest stresses that I hear from people is the professional resource file. Again, the professional resource file is probably the easiest thing you will do throughout the process. But you're going to notice that as you complete the worksheets in this book, you will start collecting all of your resources. All right, as we go through the material, you'll collect your resources. Your file is no big deal. All right, you're going to collect it. You're going to have it right there. All right, so again, kind of the system that we've put in place, it's kind of, fail-proof, all right? You should have no problem getting through that. All right, does anyone have any questions over completing your worksheets, submitting your worksheets, submitting your quiz, where to find it on the website, anything like that? Okay, awesome blossom. So we're doing pretty good. All right, doing pretty good. Okay, I'm going to ask y'all that you have each functional area completed with your worksheets and your quiz submitted to me for review within 1 week of the completion of the functional area. And I'm really going to stay on top of everyone to make sure that your worksheets and your quizzes are submitted within 1 week of completion of each functional area. And the reason why I'm really going to stay on top of y'all is I don't want you to fall behind, okay? If you don't submit your worksheets and we get into functional area 5 and you have 4 functional area worksheets to submit, it's near impossible to get caught up, okay? So I'm not going to let y'all fall behind. That is my commitment that I'm making to this class. All right. So very good. All right. We'll kind of just move along if y'all don't have any other questions. Okay. Awesome. First thing, today we are starting functional area 1 safe. All right. And you're going to notice again that there is a method to the madness on why we start with certain functional areas and the order that we go through the different functional areas. They build on top of each other. Okay. Just like in the classroom, when you focus on classroom management, you prioritize your functions in the classroom based on priority need. Obviously, health and safety always comes first. All right. Many of y'all that know me and you have been in, a lot of my training classes, we focus a lot on risk management in our trainings. I do work with an attorney that does nothing but defend child care centers in court. And kind of the little saying that we always have, both me and McGuckin, is that safety is always your trump card. All right? Safety is always your trump card. And in anything you do in the classroom, directors and assistant directors who may be attending this class, any decision that you make for your school, safety is your trump card. All right? And any decision that you make, any activity that you plan, any observation that you conduct, you should always have that equal balance with health and safety along with the cognitive skills or the emotional skills or whatever it is that you're observing. So it makes sense that our first 2 functional areas that we will cover will be safety and health. All right? So in your essentials textbook, so for those of you that do have your material, go ahead and pull out your essentials textbook. If you don't have your material yet, it's okay. It's okay. Just as soon as you do get it, we'll kind of go over that. When I'm typing in the chat screen, I will try to pay close attention to spelling and grammar, but if something does show up wrong, don't start yelling at me. Because I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. Um, in your essentials textbook, go over to page 6 for me. All right. And you're going to see your 13 functional areas at a glance. Okay. Now, you're going to notice that through our webinar series, we're going to go over 15, basically 15 weeks of material. So 1 week per functional area, and then we'll focus a week on professional resource file, and we'll focus a week on the application process. That gives us our 15. Okay. I also, because I have kind of a crazy hectic schedule with everything that I do, I always allow some time for cancellations, all right? Because let's just be honest, sometimes life happens and 1 o'clock just gets the best of me. So I kind of schedule that in there too. But it would be great to go straight forward without any of that. All right, so you can see here on page 6 your competency standards at a glance. So you can kind of see the order of the topics that we're going to go over. And of course, you can see how they build on each other. This is kind of a nice little resource for you to keep at hand. I don't know about y'all, but I kind of like knowing what's going to happen, those type of things. All right. So, and within each competency standard, you will have anywhere from 3 to 4 different functional areas. So our first competency standard is to establish and maintain a safe, healthy learning environment. So you're going to see that for the next 3 weeks, as we work on competency standard 1, we're going to go over safe, healthy, and learning environments. All right, which ironically are, 2 of these are 2 of my favorite subjects. So it's kind of cool. All right. Let's kind of go on over to page 10 in your essentials book. And essentials, and this is where we're going to go ahead and get started on safe. All right. Now, on Thursday's webinar, we're going to really focus and dedicate the entire webinar on Thursday to functional area safe. But before we start going through the material, one thing that I need y'all to do, and I love that we do this at the very beginning because it really kind of helps lay the foundation for everything we're going to go on, is starting on page 12. You're going to have a checklist, okay? On page 12, you're going to have a checklist, daily safety indoor and outdoor checklist. Between now and Thursday, I would like for each of y'all to complete this checklist. It's 3 pages, page 12, 13, and 14. Complete this checklist on your indoor and outdoor setting of your classroom. All right, and make sure you really, really do it. Don't do it based off of memory, okay, folks? Actually take the textbook into your classroom and physically look at all of the items that are listed. One of the biggest mistakes that we make when it comes to a safe environment is doing our checklist, our safety checks based off of memory, all right? What do I remember seeing rather than what do I actually see? All right. We tend to get the blind eye, and we kind of start thinking about what we remember rather than what we actually see. That right there, my friends, is how children get hurt. All right. And we don't want our children to be in danger or be at risk. So take page 12, 13, and 14. Go through your classroom and complete this list. Now, I told you that I love that we do this at the very beginning because this is a great starting point for you to kind of take a look at where you and your classroom are at today. And then come May, we're going to take a look at how much we've grown and how much we have improved and kind of take a look at the process. So it's pretty cool and pretty exciting. All right, as you go through here, make note of items that need correction. Make note of items that you need to address with your director, and see what you can do about getting these items fixed. Now, as you work through this, don't just go to your director and say, hey, Tim said you need to get this fixed. Or the essentials textbook said, we shouldn't be doing this or we should be doing that. Being a CDA candidate and being a professional, we're going to have cooperative relationships with all entities within our program. So instead of going to your director and saying, look, you've got to do this or you need to fix this, we're going to take our essentials textbook, we're going to take our checklist, we're going to go to our director or our board of directors or permit holder or whatever your situation looks like. We're going to take this material and say, hey, let's work on this together. How can I be part of the solution rather than adding to the problem? Okay, and again, that's part of the process. How can I be part of the solution? Because some of this stuff, there might be a financial impact on maintaining a safe environment. So it's not as easy as just going out, buying it, getting it fixed, replacing the equipment, whatever it may be. You might have to work towards some of it, all right? Still needs to get done, all right? But we want this to be a work in progress. Also, go to page 15 of your essentials textbook, and you're going to do a little audit of your first aid kit, all right? Now, you're going to see that this list on page 15 is a little bit different than Texas child care licensing standards. There's more material in here. There's more content that you'll see in essentials than you see in minimum standards. This is kind of a reminder right here that CDA is a nationwide credential. So this is something that is practiced across the entire country, and not only here in the United States, but all around the world, people obtain their CDA. So you're going to see a lot of times that the material in this book is going to exceed Texas licensing standards, and that's okay, all right? You always have a right to exceed. Okay, but that's the cool thing right there. So those are kind of your homework assignments that I'm giving for you right now, is that I want you to do your indoor and outdoor safety check, and I want you to go through your first aid kit. Now on Thursday, we will spend our webinar on Thursday going over some other items in the essentials textbook and maintaining a safe environment. Okay, and like I said, those of you that don't have your materials yet, hopefully you can get that. Now, if you would like to go ahead and start working on your worksheets, by all means, go for it, all right? If you want to go ahead and start submitting your worksheets for SAFE, then yes, you can go ahead and start working on those and get them in. Might be a good test run for you to see kind of how long it's going to take you. Do your checklist first, because there are several questions that's going to refer you back to your checklist. Okay. All right. Let's see how this goes right here. I am going to open up the microphone. We still have our static out there. But I did open up the microphones. If anyone has any type of questions, let's kind of start off with just the process that we've got in place right here. Does anyone have any questions about the process? Submitting your
See, that's Mr. T. I learned a lot of stuff from him.
Oh, we have a child in there. All right, no questions about the process. How about the checklist that you're going to be going over? Does anyone have any questions about that? All right. Awesome. Okay. Because we do have some background noise, I'll go ahead and mute the microphones back up. All right, now typically my goal is for our webinars to last about 40 to 45 minutes each week. This will allow us question answer time. It will allow us, if we get into some additional conversations, I hate to cut y'all off. So that's why I usually plan for 40 to 45 minutes of talk time. I also know that many of you are taking the CDA class while you're on your lunch break or something like that, and so I want to be respectful of your time as well. Now, I just want to really quick and make sure that I got everybody marked attended and make sure I didn't miss anyone. So see right here, there's one person that I didn't have marked down. Oh, I guess y'all can still see my screen. Huh, I should probably turn that off. Oops. Very good. Awesome. Okay, so if we are all good, then we are done for today. Email me or call me if you have any questions, and I will get those answered for you. Otherwise, I think it was a good start. I think we've kind of got the ground rules all laid out there. Pretty good to go. Are y'all excited? How many of you are excited about this process and ready to go? You can type that into your chat section if you want. Awesome, awesome. Yay, very good. All right, and again, this is being recorded, so this will go up on the website this afternoon. And that way, if you missed anything or you have any questions, you can go back and rewatch it. Otherwise, I am super excited about the next few months with y'all, and we're going to just really make our early education industry proud with what we're going to be doing here. All right, very good. Thank you, everybody. I will see you on Thursday at 1 o'clock. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.